morning, Belen. I'm Ricardo Labrada.
And I'm Ricky Diaguiar. Welcome to this edition of WBLN for today, March 22nd, 2017. There's lots to talk about today, but first we turn to London, where 4 people were killed and dozens injured in London Wednesday when authorities are investigating an Islamic-related terrorism. A man in an SUV mowed over pedestrians on a bridge before crashing into a gate outside of the Houses of Parliament. The driver then jumped from his vehicle and stabbed an unarmed officer before being shot and killed by police. The unarmed officer, 48-year-old Keith Palmer, did not survive. Parliament was placed on lockdown and lawmakers forced to remain in the main debating chamber of the House of Commons as firearms officers rushed to the scene outside. Several lockdowns around the area were lifted late in the evening. Parliament plans to meet as usual Thursday. Police have raided properties in Birmingham as part of their investigation into the attack. The acting deputy commissioner and head of counter-terrorism of London's Metropolitan Police told journalists this morning. 7 people remain in critical condition. 7 people have been arrested at 6 addresses following inquiries in London and Birmingham. Police believe that the attacker acted alone and was inspired by international terrorism.
Drunk driving is one of the most common and deadliest crimes in the United States amongst teenagers and young adults. This fact brought together by members of the Students Against Destructive Decisions Club and the school to hold a school-wide assembly. The assembly included guest speakers Jenny Reyes and Richard Doval, who spoke about the sad tragedies that occurred to them from others drinking or themselves while drinking under the influence.
What could happen to anybody, consequences of after the fact, you can't wish it away, or once it's done, it's done. The severity of it, you have to live with it every day, and it's not something I wish upon anybody. I just hope to maybe touch someone and open their eyes to possibilities that could happen to anybody, and it's preventable.
Yesterday afternoon, members of the class of 2018 nominated Lucas Christie, Marcos de la Hoz, Sebastian George, and Felipe Pardo for the office of Student Council President. The President shall have the general responsibility for coordinating the activities of the Student Council and for directing and overseeing and publicizing of the affairs of the student body. The President will also act as the liaison between the entire student body and the administration. The J class nominated Carlos Jimenez, Eric Lastres, Dieter Prusing, and Carlos Vela for Vice President. The Vice President shall share the duties and responsibilities of the President. Campaigning will begin Monday, and there will be a debate Wednesday afternoon, and elections will take place Thursday. Good luck to all of you. 65 students from Belen Jesuit will travel to La Intancita in the Dominican Republic from June 24th to July 2nd, 2017 to build a bridge for 5 communities. The bridge will help over 130 families in the area. The Belen Youth Missions Group will travel with Father Willie, Mr. Giovanni Perez, and alumni to build a 100-foot-long, 12-foot-wide bridge over the Ujo River.
On Wednesday, students visited the Holocaust Documentation and Education Center, and students saw an actual rail car acquired from Poland which transported prisoners to concentration camps. They also got up close to look at a rescue tank that liberated prisoners from the Dachau concentration camp. The tank is on permanent loan from the U.S. Army to the Holocaust Documentation Education Center, thanks to Senator Bill Nelson. The highlight of the trip was hearing from Holocaust survivor Leslie Measles.
Of Europe, some of us, very few of us, have survived horrors on hell. On earth.
Belen's Jesuit campus ministry office announced that they will lead a pilgrimage to Panama in 2019, joining millions of youth from around the world. World Youth Day was announced by Pope Francis last July in the coming Mass in Krakow, Poland. World Youth Day is a worldwide encounter with the Pope, which is typically celebrated every 3 years in a different country. World Youth Day is open to all young people who want to take part in a festive encounter with their contemporaries centered on Jesus Christ. This event is an opportunity to experience in first person the universality of the Church, to share the whole world the hope of many young people who want to commit themselves to Christ and others. In order to begin to prepare for the pilgrimage, there will be an informational meeting for any current 9th and 10th grade students interested in attending World Youth Day. The meeting will take place in the library at 7 p.m. on April 5th.
Over 200 students from Miami-Dade County schools will join the Key Club chapter at Belen Jesuit Preparatory School for a youth summit on empowerment involving issues of climate change and economic development on Saturday, March 25th. The conference was organized to address the issues of climate change, financial literacy, poverty, and energy. The event will begin with registration at 8:15 a.m. and will be followed by breakfast and an icebreaker event. This followed by different speakers including the mayor of Miami Beach, Philip Levine. The day will culminate and subsequently finish at 5 p.m. with a call to action and planning for the future of the organization. If you would like to attend, please contact Angel Aguilar or Mr. Calderon.
Former Trump campaign manager Paul Manafort says he did not help promote Russian interest. He was responding to an Associated Press report that says his work with the Russian billionaire was aimed at helping Putin's government. The report cited business records and interviews with the sources familiar with the matter. Manafort admits that he provided investing consulting services to billionaire Oleg Deripaska, but says the work did not involve Russians' political interest. U.S. officials say Manafort also communicated with Russians while serving as Trump's campaign manager. He says that is not true. Manafort did serve as an advisor to Ukrainian President and Putin ally Viktor Yanukovych for several years before joining the Trump campaign. That country's government says it later founded a ledger with millions of dollars with secret payments to Manafort. He also denied that claim. Congratulations to juniors Peter Morales and Alan Navarro, who recently qualified to compete in the National U.S. Geography Olympiad to be held in Washington, D.C. on the 22nd of April. Looking around our hallways, FIU student Joshua Metalis is an intramural referee and a campus life ambassador. On Tuesday, he was a guest speaker for the Sign Language Club and explained to members how, as a deaf student, he plays football and is currently completing his recreational therapy major. He will be returning to explain to everyone about deaf culture and to teach more sign language. Now stay tuned as we bring you weather and sports after these messages.
Good morning, guys. Here's your weather for today. As you can see, we have some showers coming in through the East Coast, so I would definitely keep an eye out for that as we go through our afternoon. Today, we're also looking at a high of 79, a low of 68, relative humidity at 60%, winds coming in from the east at 13 miles per hour, maybe some afternoon showers, and precipitation at 50%. For the next 3 days, we're looking at highs in the low 80s and lows in the high 60s. That's all your weather for today. Now back to you at sports.
The varsity baseball team took to the field yesterday to take on the Terra Wolves. In a crushing defeat, the Wolverines lost 5-1. The freshman team lost to St. Thomas Aquinas by a score of 4-3. Key performers were Michael Rodriguez with 5 innings pitched, and Armando Albert went 3 for 4 with a double, 2 stolen bases, and 1 run. The middle school baseball team played St. Timothy yesterday at home, ending in a 7-7 tie. The water polo team annihilated Riviera 19-6. Federico Tamburello had 4 goals, Velarde had 3 goals, Belisario had 2 goals, Chaviano with 2 goals, and Puyas with 2 goals. Belen is now 16-3 on their hunt estates. The Belen varsity track team won their meet yesterday. In the 4x100 meter hurdles, Labrador had the best time with the time of 15 seconds. In the 100 meter dash, Don Chaney had a time of 11 seconds. And in the 1600, Souza had a time of 4 minutes and 54 seconds. Other key performers were Collins, Patricius, Canto, Betoci, Bryan, and Aparicio. The varsity lacrosse team lost a tough one last night, leading 6-3 at the half and holding lead up until 3 minutes left in the game. Robert Fernandez had 4 goals, 2 assists, and Milton had 2 goals. Nico Smith and Diego Orta each had a goal. Alejandro Candela played an amazing game in the net for the Wolverines with 14 saves. Team USA wins their first World Baseball Classic. by beating undefeated Puerto Rico 8-0 last night. USA's starting pitcher was Marcus Stroman, who was the MVP and had a no-hitter through 6 innings. That's all for sports. Now back to you guys at the desk.
Thank you, Frankie. That's all the time we have for today. Be sure to follow us on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook for all the latest news and pictures. I'm Ricardo Labrada.
And I'm Ricky Aguiar. From everyone here at WBLN, have a wonderful day and stay golden, Wolverines.